Good afternoon, members of the media and fellow citizens. Before we begin, allow me to express our deepest condolence to the families and loved ones who are affected by this tragic incident. The government, through the Ministry of Public Safety and Security, stands in solidarity with the tragic incidents and who suffering with this difficult time. From the moment of the tragedy occurred, our primary focus has been on saving life and ensuring the safety of everyone involved. Search and rescue operation are still ongoing, involving multiple agencies and local authorities who are working tirelessly day and night. I know this tragedy has raised many concerns and questions among the public. So now I will open the floor of questions from the media.
You mentioned search and rescue efforts are still underway. How are these operations being coordinated and are there any challenges?
Yes. Coordination is being managed through our newly established National Crisis Operations Center, which ensure that all the rescue teams, local authorities, and relevant agencies that working together efficiently. So the main challenge has been weather condition and debris in the affected area. But we are remain committed continuing this operation until every possible effort has been made.
What kind of assistance is being provided to the victim's family at this point?
We understand that huge emotional and financial burden faced by the affected family. So by that, the government has arranged both psychological counseling and also financial aid package to support them through this difficult period. And we're also working closely with a local welfare office to make sure that support reach them properly.
There has been a lot of speculation online about the cause of the incident. Some posts even claim that the ferry might have collided with a military submarine operating in the area. How is the government handling such misinformation?
So for that question, we strongly argue that the public media to refrain from spreading unverified information. The claim that a submarine was involved is entirely false. There was no submarine operating in the area at the time of the accident. So, false rumors like this only add to the pain and of the family and can disrupt ongoing rescue operation. So that we are providing regular verified updates through official government channels to ensure transparency and accuracy.
What message do you have for the victim's family and the public at this stage?
So, to the families, we want to reassure that the government is handling this tragedy with full transparency, accountability, and also composition. We understand that no word can ease the pain of losing the loved one, but please know that you are not alone. The entire nation grieves with you. So every action we take is guided by our responsibility to uncover the truth and prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. We are committed to providing long-term emotional and financial support to help families rebuild their life.
Good morning, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here today. I'm the official spokesperson for the organization of Chang Heijin Marine Company.
Can you tell us what happened to the current condition of the rescue victims right now?
As for now, the rescue victim of the Sewol Ferry disaster suffered severe psychological trauma, including PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and a range of physical and social issues. Survivors experience symptoms like difficulty sleeping, nightmares, and social withdrawal, along with guilt and emptiness from surviving when others didn't. They also face challenges in their relationship with family, friends, and school personnel due to the disaster impact on their life.
Many are wondering why the captain decided to leave the ship during the incidents. There must be reason why and we need the justification.
As for the captain of the Sewol ferry, Lee Jong-seok left the boat because he gave instructions for passengers to remain in their cabins while he evacuated himself and some crew members onto lifeboat. He claimed his decision to abandon the ship was due to fears that passengers who evacuate would be swept away in the strong current and cold water before rescue boat arrived. However, his action led to severe criticism and he was ultimately convicted of negligence and homicide, receiving a life sentence for his role in the disaster.
Are there any legal consequences of the captain and the crews of their behavior?
As for the captain, his actions were a violation of maritime law, which requires a captain to remain on the ship during a disaster. He was convicted of murder through willful negligence and sentenced to life in prison. The other members received sentences ranging from 18 months to 12 years and get to reduce from earlier sentence of up to 20 years.
Many are, many are wondering about the reputation. Can you comment on the current stage of the company's reputation following the tragedy?
Obviously, from this tragedy, it truly affected Cheong Haejin Marine Company, such as the reputation of its operating company that led to public outrage, legal action, and its eventual demise. The company was condemned for its role in the tragedy due to a lack of safety measures, international overloading, and profit-driven decision that prioritized cost cutting over passenger safety.
Good morning. I stand here on behalf of the families of the Sewol Ferry victims, parents, siblings, and loved ones who continue to live with unbearable grief. Over the 100 lives were lost, children, teachers, and passengers who deserve safety, protections, and truth. Today, we come not to assign blame for this for its own sake, but to demand accountability and justice for those who can no longer speak for themselves. We have seen resignation letters and promises of reform, but the families are asking, will this truly lead to the change or will history repeat itself? Thank you. I will now take your questions.
There are reports that families plan to sue the ferry company. Can you confirm this?
Yes, this is true. Several families are preparing legal action against the ferry company and all parties found to be negligent. This is not about financial gain, it is about justice and accountability. The Sewol was overloaded beyond safe limit and multiple warnings were ignored. Families want to ensure that no company ever puts profit before human life again.
What are the families demanding from the government right now?
As for right now, we are demanding a transparent and independent investigation and not influenced by political or corporate interests. We need to know who made the decision, who delayed the rescue response, and why coordination among agencies failed during those critical first hours. This investigation must examine not only the ship's operators but also every authority that had a duty to protect these passengers.
Some people say this tragedy reflects deeper issues: corruption, bureaucracy, and complacency. Do the families share that view?
Absolutely. The Sewol tragedy was not an isolated mistake. It was the result of a system that valued convenience over safety and image over honesty. If we do not reform that system, the next disaster is only a matter of time. So the family hope this will be a turning point, which is it's a painful but necessary moment of national reflection.
Good morning, everyone. I am the chief of the Korean Coast Guard. First, on behalf of the entire Coast Guard and the government, I want to express our deepest and most profound sorrow over the tragic capsizing and sinking of the passenger ferry Sewol en route from Incheon to Jeju. Our thoughts and prayers are with every passengers, every crew members, and every family members anxiously awaiting news. This is a this is a tragedy of unimaginable scale. The sinking occurred approximately 20 kilometers off the coast of Byongpung Island. The vessel is now almost completely submerged. Total on board is 476 people. This includes 325 students and 15 teachers from Danwon High School in Ansan, as well as regular passengers and crew. Confirmed rescued persons are 174 people. These individuals were rescued by Coast Guard vessels, naval ships, and numerous civilian fishing boats that rushed to the scene. They have been transported to hospitals in Mokpo and nearby areas. Total of person unaccounted for is 302 people. The vast majority of these are believed to be trapped inside the hull of the submerged vessel. We have mounted the largest maritime search and rescue operation in this nation's history. We have 60 Coast Guard, Navy, and civilian vessels supported by 20 aircraft operating in the search area. There are also over 200 expert divers from the Coast Guard Special Rescue Unit. To the victim's family, I know words are insufficient right now. We understand your unimaginable pain, your anger, and your desperate hope. I want to assure you, with every expert divers and every hour of daylight and darkness will be spent on the rescue and recovery efforts. We will establish a family support center immediately at Jindo Gymnasium to provide updates and support. I am now open the floor for a few questions.
Chief, could you walk us through the exact timeline of the Coast Guard response once the distress signal from the Sewol ferry was received? At what point did your teams reach the site and what were the immediate challenges faced?
By 9:30 a.m., the first rescue teams arrived. However, the situation had already become critical. The ship was tilting rapidly, which made boarding extremely dangerous. Visibility and water currents were major challenges on that day. The strong currents limited diver access, and shifting winds made helicopter operations unstable. Despite these conditions, our team worked continuously to save as many lives as possible during those first hours.
There were reports of poor communication between the ferry and rescue command. Could you clarify how the Coast Guard coordinated with the crew and other agencies during those critical moments?
The concern is valid. We are fully reviewing our communication chain. During the initial response, coordination was handled through the Mokpo Coast Guard Command Center in communication with the ferry's bridge crew, the Maritime Traffic Service, and nearby fishing and cargo vessels. However, the rapid capsizing disrupted all communication lines, making it nearly impossible to maintain stable contact. We have since identified areas where our internal coordination can be improved, including clearer chain of command protocols and standardized radio communication procedures during maritime emergencies.
There are rumors circulating that a submarine may have caused or been involved in the incidents. Can you confirm or deny this claim?
We are aware of those rumors, but I want to be clear. There is no evidence that a submarine or any underwater vessel was involved. All radar, sonar, and naval communication records from that day were reviewed by the Coast Guard, the Navy, and independent investigators. None showed any foreign or domestic submarine activity near the Sewol's route. The tragedy was caused by a sudden turn, overloading, and unstable cargo, not an external collision. If credible new data emerge, we'll review it transparently, but as for now, These claims are unsupported by any factual findings.
Then why do some reports suggest missing sonar or radar data during the incidents?
That's a fair question. The brief gaps in sonar and radar data were due to equipment range limits and poor weather interference, not data removal. Those records have been cross-verified with naval and civilian sources to ensure nothing was hidden or lost. We want to assure the public that every piece of verifiable data has been disclosed to investigators and the family's representatives. There is no evidence of suppression or external collision.
Chief, many believe more life could have been saved if passengers were ordered to evacuate earlier. Why was not the Coast Guard able to override the captain's instruction and begins evacuation immediately?
That's one of the most painful questions we continue to face, and rightly so. At the time, the Coast Guard relied on information provided by the ferry's crew, who initially reported that the ship was stable and passengers were safe inside. Because of this, the evacuation order was delayed until the situation became critical. Since then, our procedures have changed to what Coast Guard commanders now have full authority to issue immediate evacuation orders when a vessel's stability is in doubt. Regardless of the captain's report, this change was made to ensure that such hesitation never costs lives again.
Thank you.